don't have any of this, you can use a frying pan. Cast iron skillet, baby. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our flour mixture or batter, whatever you want to call it, for our flattened chicken. Now usually you flatten it to about 1/4 of an inch or so. My nephew was like, don't you have a hammer? It's like, why? But if you don't have, you know, what I just did, you can take a cast iron skillet and just smash the hell out of it until it's flattened, but not a big deal. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to take salt. Here's some ground black pepper. Okay, now this is the thing. If you're going to try to make this a traditional way, you don't really want to follow me 100% because I add stuff that you wouldn't see traditionally, and I also do it a little different, but ultimately it's the same thing. I just think mine tastes better. If you were just going to be doing it traditionally, basically this is the only thing that would be in there, and then some flour. So here we're going to put some flour in this. That's enough. Now if you want to go the traditional route, what I just did right here, mix it up, hey, you're good. I'm going to add more stuff. So that's basil. This is oregano. Okay, here's ground thyme. Here's a little bit of granulated onion. Putting a little bit of paprika in this. And like I said, all the stuff I put in here is not traditional, so don't be like posting stupid comments going, you're not supposed to put all that. And we're going to dip these guys inside here. And you'll notice I didn't use an egg batter or nothing like that in this. It's basically just enough flour on this to basically coat it. Okay, this one is coated, and I'm going to save the rest of this flour because I might need it a little bit later to try to thicken up some of the sauce. Okay, but there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and start frying this up. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn the stove on, and I'm going to put this on about medium high. And this is a heavy bottom pan. Okay, 1/4 cup of olive oil inside there. A couple tablespoons of butter in there. And I'm going to be putting a grated onion in here. This is untraditional. This is not the way that you'd usually do it, even though some people will put shallots. And I have this grated so it kind of breaks down a little bit easier, and it's not so prominent. Everything I do, I have reasons for it. And granted, like I said, this is not traditional. Traditional, I'm trying to tell you what you would do, you know. You would only put salt and pepper, flour, that's it, okay, on the chicken. You would put the oil and butter in here, you'd fry it up until it was almost cooked and it was brown on both sides. That's traditional. You wouldn't even have the onion or nothing yet, okay. Actually, a lot of times traditional, they don't even put onion. They don't put garlic, they don't put shallots. Just depends on who's making it. Putting a little bit of salt in here, you know. Anytime that you add an ingredient, you need to salt it. You need to salt it for the amount for that ingredient you just added, right? That way there's always the proper amount of salt. Okay, so at this point I'm going to separate the oil from the onions. So what I'm doing here is trying to get that butter and oil back in here, but it's going to be onion infused. So now we are putting our chicken that's in here. And just to be a nice guy, I'm going to add a little bit more of the flour to this. Because essentially what we're not only just cooking this, we're also making a roux. This is on medium high right here. And I want to get this cooked about maybe halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way. Turn this down to low. And I'm going to take these pieces of chicken out. I think they're cooked enough. So this is down on low now, just so I don't have stuff burn too much. But what I'm going to do, because I'm a super awesome type of guy, is I'm going to throw some butter inside there. Traditionally, you would use cremini mushrooms. I'm not traditional. I'm Baptist. Actually, I'm not Baptist anymore. Tax reasons. So we're going to go ahead and cook that for a little bit. We're going to take our onions that we had before, put the remaining butter and oil, and we're going to put that in there. The mushrooms are going to be absorbing a lot of this. This is our sauce, basically, right? Can't have anything that's even resembling Italian food without garlic. So we're going to put some garlic inside there. We just put mushrooms in, right? So we got to salt it. It should be enough. You can use kosher salt if you want. I simply just ran out, and I do prefer it. Ground black pepper. So here's some basil. I like oregano a lot, but oregano can make your stuff start tasting too much like pizza if you're not careful with it. And don't worry about this brown stuff on the bottom. That's good eats. That's good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and let this kind of cook for a little bit. As soon as this starts cooking, and it gets to the point that I say, yeah, that's good, then we're going to go to the next step. These are baby Bella mushrooms. I don't know if I had mentioned that or not. I know that ordinarily, traditional, cremini, salt, pepper, maybe, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, it's real simple typically when you're making a chicken marsala. It's typically a really simple dish, but I always add stuff to it. Now, like I said, I always do stuff my way. Some people would add prosciutto to this. Not me. I'm going to add some just regular old ham. I can do it. I've been licensed to do it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be adding a little bit of marsala wine to this, and that's why they call it chicken marsala, right? And you're going to see it says imported from Italy. You don't want to import this from like Iceland or anything like that, from Italy. And marsala is basically just like all the other wines, it's because of the region it comes from. And you don't want to really use sweet wine. The sweet marsala, you want to use it dry. And we're going to put maybe about a half a cup. And then, just in case, this is boiling out the alcohol, so be careful because if a flame hits this could go up, right? You can lose an eyebrow and shit. But you want to use this as an opportunity to kind of clean up the bottom of the pan to get all those flavors out of the bottom of the pan. Okay, that's not too shabby. But now we're going to even make this even stronger flavor. We're going to be putting some chicken broth in here, or chicken stock. And we're going to let that boil down. It's going to end up reducing considerably. But we also want to kind of cook the rest of our chicken so it's cooked all the way through. We're going to set it in this mess. Get that juice in there. 15 minutes, this should have reduced to a point that is acceptable. It actually smells pretty good in here. Alright, so we've got our sauce that has, even though it doesn't look like it's thickened, a lot of this is going to end up evaporating after I turn the fire off, and it's going to be a much thicker sauce. Okay. If I wanted to thicken it more, I could take this chicken out, and then I could just add some of that flour. But it might taste a little starchy, so we're not going to do that. But what we're going to do, just turn the fire off, and this is going to naturally thicken anyway as it cools. But that's that. And now it's pretty much just plating it and serving it. You could put a little Parmesan on there if you like Parmesan or whatever. But anyway, so we got it plated up, and if you take your fork and move it around, you'll see that the sauce is thickened considerably. The sauce, not the chicken, dude.
You said move it around and then
yeah, but the sauce, not the chicken. Anyway, you can see it's thickened up, okay? So there you go. And I have all those herbs and stuff inside there that ordinarily you wouldn't see, because ordinarily it's just a little bit of mushroom, salt, pepper, a little bit of flour, and my dog's attacking his leg, and the marsala wine, and maybe some chicken stock. But I do mine my own way. Anyway, go ahead and give it a shot, dude. Tell me what you think. He's never had chicken marsala before.
Red. Let me get some of this up on there too, you know. What the fuck?
There you go.
Yeah.
Just don't burn your mouth like you do every damn episode.
That's really fucking good. No, I really like the sauce, and the chicken is like, it's juicy still, so it's not dry at all, of course. And there's like a lot of fucking flavors in this, actually. Like, oh, let me get that off. Like, what the fuck? It's really fucking good.
You're not being liar to me because you are on film?
No, I told you, I don't give a fuck if I'm on film. I'll tell you if it's shit right now. This is bomb as fuck. 10 out of 10 on this one too.
What's that?
10 out of 10 on this one too.
Cool beans and hot sauce.
Damn, dude, if I keep eating, I'm not gonna want to drink. I gotta stop. Like,
It's like, well, you know, priorities. Priorities, right? But that's pretty good though, right?
no, yeah, this is... Alright, here, one more bite. Just one more bite.
Alright, that's cool. This is going to go in the oven, so it's protected.
Okay.
Dude, don't choke.
No.
Dude, your mouth is like, the last time I saw a mouth that full, I was watching Linda Lovelace. Alright guys, so that's my video. Hopefully you liked. That's how I make my chicken marsala. And granted, it's not traditional, but if you want traditional, you know, come on. You can always improve everything.
Fuck traditional, dude. That one's fucking good.
Yeah, well, thank you very little.
Alright.
Alright, dude. So, anyway, thanks for your honesty. I'll pay you later. Some of you guys have been wondering, you know, why does he put so many videos up on how to cook? And I'm going to tell you, because I mentioned this to my nephew earlier. They say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, but it's even more true when it comes to a woman. So, I mean, like, and I'm not saying, hey, you cook for a chick, she's going to put out. She might. But... but the reality is you should be able to do it, and it's something that makes a huge impact, right? Whether you're male or female, it makes a huge impact. I'm trying to help you guys out, man. Even if you live in a shitty apartment, you got a crappy pan, I'm telling you, you can do this. And most of the stuff that I'm cooking is like less than $10, man. Like the stuff that this chicken marsala that I made, I think if I added everything together, it's probably around $12-13, and I ended up feeding 2 people. Right? So come on. Come on. Quit being a bunch of hot pocket motherfuckers and start learning how to cook like a man.